Alright everybody, it is Friday, November 1st. Here we have the ES and Q week review and week ahead. So let's get into it. Now, being the first, the monthly candle did close, and you see I have these dashed lines marking out the high, close, and open of it. The low was bought up at this pivot, prior all-time highs for 2 months. And the body inside candle tried to wick above and failed. So this month, today, we did open inside. So this will still be on watch, this range. Now for the weekly, big puke down back to here, but got bought up just like last time. Broke out of the inside range down and got bought up, so we'll see what happens from here. You see we have this 9 weekly MA kind of curling. I don't hold too much weight on those, but and then these lines where we got bought up, the gray lines, are at the edge of this high volume node, so that's a little extra confluence. Now on the daily, this is the balance zone we were in, because trended up, found balance in this box, broke out based on it, and then we found a new balance. And as you can see, we puked out of it. But look what happened, look where we caught a bid, for now at least. Obviously, the bottom of this zone and the edge of this high volume node, but the bottom of the previous balance. So I would expect this to be a strong support and possibly see us chop around in this box before picking a direction, whether it's up or down. Now we did lose the 9 and 20 daily MA, closed just above the 50, so see what happens from there. Daily ATR, ADR, whatever, sitting right around 57 and pretty flat, no longer trending down. I like it right around 50, 60, that's my sweet spot. I don't want to repeat too much from last week, but as you can see right here on this day, what is this, 10-17, we wicked above the range a little bit, had a couple days wicking below, kind of just grabbing liquidity, but then we ended up just puking. Not sure which news or if it was just price action that had us puke yesterday on Thursday, but as you can see we did, and 2 days in a row we caught a bid at the lows of the previous range. So drilling down to continue. This is very important. You can ignore this white dash line, that's just Thursday's close, but I've been talking, sound like a broken record talking about this zone, but this is the overnight gap we created in September, where obviously a lot of shorts got caught, because anytime price comes back into it, specifically at the 50% line, what happens? Bought up, bought up, bought up, bought up, bought up, bought up. Created a zone. Every time we hit this 50% line, we cannot put a body on the 4-hour chart below it, and spent some time, created a new range, started putting in lower high, lower high, lower high. As you can see, still cannot put a body below this 50% mark. So this low volume node is a low volume node for a reason. So we'll be monitoring that to see if it stays like that, or if we do accept below it, can we close this gap or not. Now I've kept this up here. This is just a down gap we created, and yes, in RTH we did close it, but it's really just quick wick, so I'm keeping it up just to monitor it and to see how quick price travels through it, to see if we struggle at it again. And you can see it does have confluence with the edge of this high volume node right here, So I think it's worth watching personally. Now, this is just a 1 hour view. Kind of want to check out this gap. So Globex gap up, nothing really too exciting. It held and then we lost it. That's about it. But so yeah, big rally today. 1 hour shot up and then it got reclaimed for a perfect balance. Get you a lower time frame view. So this overnight demand, lost it, and then today in RTH ended up being a lot of sellers present here. This high volume node struggled to get below it. So this is this week in a nutshell. Kind of sideways action, went higher overnight, but just kind of a fake out, lower high in RTH, big puke for one RTH overnight, another RTH, and then slow grind up last night, blasted up this morning to reclaim that move perfectly, pretty much right at the low of the first hour. Now, this is the previous month, so this would be October. We're holding August high. October's low and August high were about the same. Broke above September's high here, held that. Traded and balanced above September's high. Tried to go below it, but could not. Held it again. And then we just lost September's high, but we're still holding August high, and we're inside October's range, so that's something to watch. Oops, sorry, let me get NQ up. Bear with me. But so for levels on the monthly, we'll be watching October's open at 58.10, as well as 58.10 to 58.30 to all-time highs at 59.30. And then below, be watching 57.25 to 57.17. And then 54.55. Now, obviously, the main concern is watching. We have an inside month right now, so that's the main concern. Now, on the weekly, crucial area, we're at a crucial support, which would be holding 57.60, 57.30, and then the absolute low 57.24. If not below that, 56.70. And above us we have 58.60, 58.93, 59.16, and then all-time highs at 59.26. On the daily, want to see us hold this 50, aka this zone, which has confluence with this high volume node. So above us, levels to watch would be this old low, which is this old high right here, which would be at right about 5,800, we'll call it. And then this zone from this gap from 58.40 to 58.51. 5,900 to all-time highs at 59.26.50. This range is key. Will we stay in it? And then after, which direction will we go after? Now on the 4 hour, 1 hour and 30 minute, above us we have the top of this curve at 5800, and then 5807 to the top of this zone at 5820, 5830 to 5850 we'll call it. This gap starting at 5870 with the top of it at, we'll call it 58900, 5915, and then all-time high at, what is that, 5928. Now this is really just a more in-depth view for you guys. See the price action. Now holding previous week's low at 57.32 is key. Must see us hold this, and then the week's high at 58.92. So inside month, inside week, balance until proven otherwise. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Then monthly, as I said, inside month, so we have this level here at 57.24 is the low, with the high being 59.27. Now for NQ, now October, the low got bought up right at the open of September, which is good. Still in the body and wick, pretty much the entire candle, not counting the top wick, is inside this candle. So we're still basing, going sideways. Want to see this low hold, take out this high, and base on this high. And this high volume node, local POC, which got bought up here, if we do visit down here, would like to see this get bought up. Holding the 9 weekly MA, which has confluence with this old supply, which turned in a demand, which next week will be make or break if we can hold it or not. But we have the bottom of this high volume node, or this curve, for confluence. Hang on, sorry, I just want to see something. Alright. So yeah, we failed off this supply, this zone, but if we can, so we failed off this, but if we can hold this and go higher, then that will be good. But if not, do not want to see that. On the daily, just like ES, basing on the 50 daily, our 9 and 20 daily are moving down. We had this supply, looked like we were going to break above it, did not, had a fake out and dumped. Now, pretty similar to ES, we have what you could call this box, and we are now back in it. This gap here is definitely something to watch, see if we can fill it or if there will be lots of sellers present. And then this daily 200, which we did not really accept below it yet in a long time, so do not want to see that. And also, just like ES, this big overnight gap, mid bought, bought in the gap, mid bought, cannot put a 4-hour body below this gap. And I believe ES, yeah, see, ES got to the mid, but NQ got bought up right at the beginning of the gap again. So you can see how important that is. I believe that that's just long-term shorts or higher time frame shorts looking to get out, and or higher time frame longs looking to get in. But you could really call all this one big range. As you can see, this is one big curve here. So yeah, pretty much been ranging for 43 days. I'm gonna drill down just let you see some price action. Here's the point of control. Most volume out of all these days. Drilling down to the 30-minute. Now going to the weekly. Extend this and this. So 2 weeks ago, we have the high and low from 2 weeks ago. And the week after, excess at the top and bottom perfectly balanced in the prior week. Opened inside of that range, went above, faked out, ran some stops, and then puked straight through the bottom of it. Tried to get back in it and ran out of time because the week ended. So pretty much a triple inside week. So we will see where we open next week and monitor if we stay in this range or if we can accept below it. Now on the monthly, we have October here. The October high, as you can see, right here. October low right here. Opened up this month inside of it. So I want to see if we go lower, how we react to October low. And then I want to see how we react at October high if we go higher. Now for levels to watch, above us we have October's open at 20,280. September's high at 20,530. And then October's high at 20,767 with all-time highs at 21,220.50. And then below us we have October's close at 20,092. The low, October's low, and September's open at 19,847, and then below it the zone at 19,093 to the low of September's low at 18,565. On the weekly above us, we have this week's open at 20,524, the high at 20,796. And then all-time highs. Below us we have 19,838. 20 MA to watch right here. 19,550. And we got the weekly 50 right here at 18,990. With the low of the zone being at 18,600, we'll call it. On the daily, the bottom, to go above, we have today's high at 20,295. The start of this gap at 20,480 to 20,533. and then we have 20,736 to 20,790, 21,030 to 21,220.50. Below, we have this daily 50 MA at 20,030, and the bottom of the zone being 19,834. Then the next zone, 19,694 to 19,538. And then next level after that is this 50 daily 50 MA, 19,344. On the 4 hour, 20,285 to 20,413, 20,487, 20,680, and then all-time highs with below us. This gap is key, being 20,055, 20,000. The mid of it, 19,845, and then the low at 19,630. Then we have this triple, which is going to be 4 inside week low. Want to see if we can get back in this range at 20,212, and then the high is 20,674, with the low being 20,008, but we'll call it 20,000 even. And then the month, we have the previous, which would be October's month's high at 20,790, and then the low at 19,825. Data for next week. Monday, no red folders, aka high impact. Tuesday, we have the presidential election, as well as PMI. Ten-year auction. Wednesday, we have crude oil, obviously. 30-year bond auction. Thursday's another red impact day. Initial jobless claims. Fed interest rate decision. FOMC. Shall be interesting. Election and FOMC. And we have a Friday with no red folders, so I'll let you read the rest of those. And we can go over some stocks really fast. So AMD, let's check out the weekly. Had a nice push up, and then earnings came out, and a little fake out, back down. There's that earnings gap. Sorry, my chart's a little messy, but you get the point. So we were breaking out of this trend line. Nice lower high to push out, and then bad earnings. So we'll see where AMD goes from there. Apple came so close to all-time high. Actually, right here, wicked into a new all-time high. Shoved down, gapped up, tried again, and just failed. Bought up here, but just put in a lower high to just melt. Tesla got this trend line, fake breakout, higher low, pretty much equal highs or a lower high, higher low, massive week, and then equal highs shoved down. Let's go down to the daily. So you can see we just wicked above it before we shoved down, but look at that gap. It's just obliterating this gap. Was looking at calls here, but I was too cheap to pay what they wanted, so that's what I get. NVDA tapped all-time high, dump back down, but I like this big wick showing buying. Go to the daily. Got some nice buying here in this area. This gap right here is a nice area to watch to catch a bid, as well as this zone here. Don't like to see how we rolled right here at all-time highs though, because technically we've been ranging since May. PLTR, there's the old all-time highs, just top ticked it. Holding this zone here though, so we'll see. Let's check the VIX out. Looking like it wants to try and break out. So you can see this trend line, massive volatility spike. Now we're just ranging from here to here, but we have higher low on the trend line, so could want to break out. We'll see. There's this gap below to be filled possibly as well, so let's check out Google. This little weekly pennant here, broke out of it, based, and then massive breakout, but ended up coming back down to create a spinning top shaped candle. And this is what the inside of it would look like. So range, massive breakout with the gap up, came back down and closed below this, basing nicely. So we'll see if it can go higher from here, make like a U, or if we do something like that. Bitcoin, hot topic. Let's look at the weekly. We have all-time highs. Nice weekly 3-bar play, but unfortunately it got stuffed. But we still have 2 more days on this candle to push higher. Now we had a fair value gap here, I believe it was. Let me see. Yeah, so is this fair value gap? Failed. Took forever to break above it. Finally broke above it on the daily. Created a fair value gap here, and as you can see, we're still holding it right now. But there's also a bearish fair value gap, so we're in between the two. So we'll see. But overall, nice to see this leg, but still in a range. So we'll see about that. Gold on the weekly is just parabolic. This is a big zone to watch. Silver on the weekly. This previous high, basing on it sort of. Let's go down to the day. Basing on that. And go down to Microsoft. Just a big long range since July. Pretty ugly. Massive gap down from earnings. Amazon, massive gap up due to earnings. Check this out. So I like to see that we're basing here. Didn't melt below here. And then last one, game. Since everyone, all the apes as they call themselves, like to talk about it. Technically, I've just been in a range since January of 21, but they love to talk about it. So go down to the daily. Guess you could kind of, it's just an ugly chart. I don't know. I do not know, but check out Baba. Beautiful push. We'll see if this holds to go for a U, kind of make like a cup and handle. Check out the daily. I like that to make kind of like a W. We're holding this price range right here. And then crowd. This is when the bad news came out. Massive bad news. Got bought up. Nice trend. Yeah. And there we have it. So tried to keep it a little shorter this week, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And 2 more months of the year left, you guys. Let's make it strong. And hopefully we'll see a Santa rally.